Okay, this is 2.3 day 3's video, and this is in the last page of the 2.3 notes, so it would probably be very good for you to find that page and write this stuff down, because this stuff that I'm going to go through here is, I know you've done it before, but it's always nice to have something to look at as we're going through. So we're going to actually go through and graph equations today, linear equations. And the linear equations you're going to graph, we're going to want to put them in slope-intercept form. So this part we've done we did yesterday, where we put the equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. In other words, we solve for y or get y by itself. Okay, so that's essentially your first step on these types of problems, is make sure y is by itself. Okay, then you're going to find the y-intercept and plot that point. So as we go through here, you have two things that are going to be important for you. Your slope, which is m, and your y-intercept, which is b. Okay? And remember, it's always the ordered pair 0 and whatever that number b is. Okay? So we're going to find the y-intercept, and then we're going to plot that point accordingly. Okay? So it'll be 0 and whatever number. Then, from that y-intercept, or from that dot that we have, either going up or going down, from that dot we have, we're going to use our slope to find the second point. So maybe our slope is 3 over 1. That tells me I would go up 3, I would go right 1. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect the 2 points to form our line. All right, so essentially, you're looking at 4 steps in the process here. Get y by itself. Find the y-intercept, plot it. From the y-intercept, use the slope to make a second point, and then connect your 2 dots. Okay, so let's take a look here at the first example. So we've got, it says, what is the graph of y equals negative 2x plus y equals 1? Well, first question I have to ask myself, is y by itself? Well, no, it's not, because I notice that I have a negative 2x over here on the side of y. So what I have to do is I got to get y by itself. In order to do that, I have to add 2x to each side. And when I do that, these 2x's go away. I'm left with a y on the left side. And then I have a 2x and a plus 1. Now, as you're looking at this equation, is y by itself? Well, yeah, there's nothing else with the y. So far, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to identify, okay, what's my slope and what's my y-intercept? Well, remember, it's y equals mx plus b. So this number right here is your m. This number right here is your b. So b is the ordered pair 0 and 1. Okay, 0 and 1. And b is 2. Now, I always want to have the slope as a fraction. So if it's a whole number, in this case, if it's a whole number, I'm always going to put it over 1. Okay? All right, so I've got y by itself. Now I have to I've identified the y-intercept and the slope. So I've identified the y-intercept. I'm going to go plot the y-intercept. So when I go plot the y-intercept here, okay, it tells me that the ordered pair is 0, 1. Well, this first number tells me how much left or right I go, so I don't go left or right at all. And then this number tells me, since it's positive, that I'm going to go up 1. So I'm going to start at 0, 0, go up 1, and then I'm going to put a dot right there. Okay? Then, now I'm going to use my slope that I have. My slope is 2 over 1. So the top number tells me how much I go up or down. In this case, since it's positive, I'm going to go up. Okay. The bottom number tells me how much left or right I go. And in this case, again, because it's positive, I'm going to go right. So, from this dot that I just created, I'm going to go up 2 units, and I'm going to go right 1 unit, and my next dot's going to be right here. So I go up 2, I go right 1, and I put a dot right there. Okay, whoops, wrong spot. Let's redo that. I go up 2 and right 1 and right, there we go. Okay, now that I have 2 dots there, 2 points, now I can draw the line. So now I'm going to connect those 2 points with my line, just like so. And since it's a line, these are lines, I've got to go all the way through from to the top part of my graph to the bottom part of my graph, and I got to make sure I have arrows in there. Okay, so that's the first example there, looking at that first graph slope intercept form. All right, let's take a look at this next one. What is the graph of 4x minus 7y equals 14? Okay, again, first step that I'm looking at here is I want to get y by itself. Okay, so as I look at this equation, is y by itself? No, it's not. So I got a lot of work to do here. So I'm going to subtract 4x first. Got to add or subtract to get those x's out of there. So I have negative 7y is going to equal negative 4x and plus 14. Okay. All right, so now, again, I'm always going to put that x first, so I end up with mx plus b. Now, I still have a negative 7 there in front of that y. I'm going to divide each side by negative 7. Divide everything by negative 7. Okay, so negative 7's go away. That's a y now. Equals, does 7 go into 4 evenly? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it, except the only thing, since I have 2 negatives, I'm going to go ahead and make it a positive 4 sevenths, like so. Okay, and then positive 14 divided by negative 7 is negative 2. Okay, again, I'm able to identify, okay, what's the slope? The slope is 4 sevenths. The y-intercept, or b, is the order pairs 0 and negative 2 this time. Okay? So now when I want to go graph this, I'm going to go, in this case, as you see the y-intercept here, I'm going to go left to right 0, and I'm going to go down 2. So I'm going to go down 2, and we're going to, okay, so I go down 2, put a dot. Then from there, it tells me I'm going to go up 4. I'm going to go up 4 because it's positive, and I'm going to go right 7. So up 4 and right 7. All right, so again, I'm starting at this point that I just put down here. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I should have a dot right there. Okay, again, once you have your 2 dots, I'll kind of mark this out again so you can kind of see how I got the 4 and the 7. I went up 4, so I went up 4 units, and then I went right, and then I went right 7. So I went up 4, and I went right 7 units. And now I'm going to draw my line from my 2 dots. Just like so. Connect them all the way through the graph. Make sure there's arrows on them. And now you should be able to graph in slope-intercept form.